Okay, I've got something a bit different for you today, guys. Right, first of all, I'm recording from my laptop here instead of using our sort of snazzy Sony A7 Mark III camera that we normally use. I took it home at the weekend to take some good quality pictures of my kids, and then I forgot to bring it down here to the studio this morning. Classic mistake. So we're going old school. We're recording this on the webcam of my laptop. But I'm going to make up for that because I'm going to share tons of useful stuff with you today. And if you're interested in guitar scales and lead guitar, wow, this is going to be a treat. We're going to cover a lot of ground here. Let's dive in. Okay, we got a question from the fabulously named Pablo Simone. What a great name, Pablo. Dude, you've got a great name. I absolutely love it. You should be in a band if you're not already with a name like that. Pablo's question was, "Hi Mike, I'm starting with scales and I'd like to know techniques and exercises to improve." Pablo, thank you for writing in with this fantastic question. Brilliant question, it's going to help a lot of people, so let's do it. First of all, you need to understand what the playing field is. And when we speak about scales in the guitar world, generally we're speaking about 5 scales in total. The major scale, the minor scale, the major pentatonic and the minor pentatonic, and the blues scale. Now those 5 scales dominate the world of guitar really, and music in general I guess, but certainly in the guitar world. And I think it's useful before we get into the specifics of this that you understand the overall picture. Super quick point that I want to make here. The major scale and the minor scale, they're the 2 main scales. The major pentatonic is simply the major scale in an abridged form. So it's the major scale with a couple of notes taken out. Alright, so don't think that the major scale and the major pentatonic scale are 2 completely different scales. They are in terms of the notes that we play, but I want you to understand that the major pentatonic scale, it is the major scale just with 2 notes taken out. Similarly, the minor pentatonic scale, that's just the minor scale with a couple of notes taken out. I think it's useful for you to know that because for years I didn't know that. I thought they were 4 different scales, but they're not. They're basically 2 scales, and the pentatonic versions are simplified versions of the full scale, the full major and minor scale. And then of course you've got the blues scale, which has just got an extra note in there, which sounds extra cool. Let's just rattle through them real quick. Right, for this example, I'm going to play in A, just because it's halfway along the fret. It's a nice place to do this. So the A major scale, nice and bright and happy. The A minor scale, bit more moody and mysterious. Okay, the A major pentatonic. Okay, the A minor pentatonic. The A blues scale. Love that blues note, never gets old. Okay, so super quick, they're the 5 scales that we're talking about really when we speak about the guitar world and scales. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. We've got some big YouTube plans in the future. To make sure that you see our future videos, you'll need to subscribe to the channel. Okay, my next tip is learn scale patterns that are movable. Don't learn them in their open positions. And what I mean by that is don't learn the C major scale down at this end of the guitar. I mean, learn it if you want to, but understand that it's never really useful to know that apart from when you're playing in that position. But if you learn the major scale pattern that I just showed you before in A, then that's a movable pattern. So you can, just move that up the neck and it becomes the B major scale or the C major scale. Sorry. It's the same pattern that we're playing, we just move it around the neck, and that dictates what the actual scale that we play will be. But the pattern for our fingers stays the same. That's a big time saver. So, okay, learn some of those open scales down there if you want to. By all means, it's sort of fun to explore that. But if you're just getting started with scales, it's way more useful to learn a movable scale pattern that you can apply anywhere on the neck. Okay, my next tip is play your scales over backing tracks. Don't just learn the scale and play and ascend and descend the scale. That's really boring. It's really unmusical. you'll develop a much stronger feel and musicality and be able to improvise better. And you'll just be a much more creative musician and lead guitarist if you're used to playing those scales over backing tracks. So for example, if you want to get started with this, you could play the A minor scale or the A minor pentatonic scale. If you want, you can play the full 2-octave version of that. And if you just type into Google A minor backing track, there's loads of stuff that will crop up there. You know, you can even specify by genre. A minor backing track, blues, A minor country backing track, whatever it might be. And then practice your scales over that backing track, and you'll realize some notes work, some work better here than there, and you'll get you'll develop much more musicality. That's so much more interesting than just going up and down scales all day. You know, that's really boring. That's the type of thing you imagine some classical pianist doing. Like, that's not music to me. We want you to develop musicality right from the start. By all means, practice those scale patterns until you embed the muscle memory in any way that makes sense for you and is enjoyable for you to do. But definitely don't just learn the scales. We need you to see those scales as patterns of notes that go with music, over music, along with music. And I think if you just learn the scale patterns, then you might be great at just going up and down the scale, but are you really making music? For me, it's much, much better to play over backing tracks or songs that you like. If you're not sure what key a piece of music that you like is in, just Google it. Like, all of this stuff is easy to figure out. You know, Google Hotel California key, you know, and it will show you the key, and then you just play in a scale that matches the key. I'm going to say that again. If you're wondering what scale will go with the song, play a scale that matches the key. If the song is in the key of C major, then the C major scale will work great, and so will the C major pentatonic scale, because the major pentatonic scale is just the major scale in an abridged form. Okay, play over songs that you love, play over backing tracks, be musical. That's how you feel the music flowing through you. Take time to get there, but the lead guitar is one of the parts of the guitar world when you can really lose yourself in the music. It's so much fun. Okay, next tip, make sure that you learn the notes of the E string. So all of them, starting from the open E, F, G, A, B, C, D, all the way up to E there. But we want you to learn every single note there. If you don't know those notes, then you won't know where to apply the scale patterns that you learn to create the key that you want to play in. You know, so it's not nice to know. It's essential that you know the notes on the E string. You don't need to know the notes on all of the strings. You really don't, especially if you're just getting started with the scales. But you do need to know the notes that are on the thickest string, the E string. If you're just getting started with this, just learn the ones that have dots on them. G, A, and B. Just those three, in fact, to start off with. G, A, B. And then you can use them to give you a foothold in the neck to work out any other notes from there. Eventually, we want you to know all 12 notes there. But to start off with, G, A, B is fine. Okay, this is a slightly more advanced technique, but if you can, I don't know how good your chord knowledge is right now, but if you can, try and match the scale boxes that you're playing, try and match them to the chords that are underneath. This is more of a sort of intermediate advanced technique here, so if you're just a beginner, don't worry about this. But let's say, for example, you know an E minor chord is here. Okay, so there is a box pattern that fits over that from the pentatonic scale, which is... Okay, so that's my go-to apart from box 1, which is the one everybody learns. So box 1 of the minor pentatonic, if we stay in E, would be... And if we were to play that in A, it would be... Yeah, you get the idea there. So box 1 of the minor pentatonic scale that we played before in A, let's stay in A. So if I'm playing A minor, there's an A minor chord there, can you see that? If you know bar chords, you know that's an A minor chord. So that's where box 1 of that scale begins, because surprise, surprise, the root note is A. So that's an A minor chord. And A minor pentatonic scale begins there on that A. Yeah, so that's nice and easy, that one. It's clear. Oh yeah, okay, that's where if I play any sort of E-shaped bar chord, then that's always going to be the root note for that chord, but also the root note for that scale. So try and match that. And as time goes by, you can pick up more sort of advanced ones as well. So for example, the A minor that's here on the, if we go just above the 12th fret, can you see that okay? So there's a nice pattern there. So that's a nice one to know, because you can use that in any key, of course. It's a nice one to know because we get a nice bluesy bend there. So as time goes by, once you get comfortable with box pattern 1, which is the one that I've showed you throughout most of this video, then you can branch out into the others, but it makes them way easier to remember if you can mentally match that box pattern to the chord that's underneath it. It's much easier to find, especially if you're doing stuff on the fly. Okay, my last tip for you now, and this one's again more intermediate advanced, but I want to make sure you've got some stuff to aspire to and grow into, and that is understand that scales are relative to one another. For example, if you're playing in the C major scale, then for reasons we won't go into here, the A minor scale and the C major scale are relative to one another. That means they have the same notes. What that means for you as a guitarist, which makes things way, way easier, is if you ever want to play a minor scale shape, a minor pattern over a major tonality. So let's say you only know the minor pentatonic scale, and that's what everyone starts with. And let's say you only know that box 1 shape. If that's the only scale pattern you know, that's absolutely fine, that's great. Let's say you want to play that over a major tonality, but it's a minor scale, so it won't work. Well, all you do is play the scale 3 frets lower than you would ordinarily play it, and it will work. So the C major scale begins here. So let's say the song is in the key of C, but we only know the song's in the key of C major, but we only know minor chord scale patterns. Then all we do is we say, well, okay, C is here. So if I just go 3 frets lower, 1, 2, 3, and play my minor scale pattern, that will work over the major tonality, because you'll actually be playing in the same key. You'll perceive it that you're playing in the minor key, but actually you're not. You're playing the notes from the C major scale when you play A minor. Don't worry too much about the theory, because I remember when I first learned that, I was like, whoa! my mind was just blown by that. So don't worry too much about the theory of it for now. Just know that if you know the A minor, or if you know the minor pentatonic box 1 pattern, if that's all you know, well, with what I just told you, you can use that one scale pattern over any song in any key. This is amazing. It's such a huge time saver. So if you want to, I'm just going to say that one last time to reiterate it. If you want to play a minor scale box pattern that you know, a minor scale pattern, over a song that's got in a major key, then you just drop it down 3 frets and you will be able to use that shape that you know. It's a massive time saver. Remember, we love making these YouTube videos for you. They're a lot of fun, but remember, our best stuff is over on our website. Head over there now, nationalguitaracademy.com. There's loads of free guides, free lessons on every aspect of the guitar world. It's all completely free. And yeah, there's loads of stuff there that will help you. So head over there and check it out, nationalguitaracademy.com. Hope you've enjoyed this video today, and just another bit of lockdown content for you, really. Hope that the quality of the video is okay, even though we're just filming this on my laptop. It feels like it's like 10 years ago or something, but it doesn't look too bad, so hopefully it's okay. And in the video description here, you'll find a link to one of our most popular guides on our site. It's called How to Play Lead Guitar. And it's this epic guide that I wrote a couple of years ago. It's still one of the most popular guides that we have, and it breaks all of this stuff down step by step. So if you want to learn lead guitar, click that link in the video description, and there's loads of stuff there that will really help you. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again soon.